Hello guys, and welcome to the Penny Podcast. I'm Andrés, I'm in 12th grade, and I'm the Capo Student Media web producer.
I'm Camden, Southwick. I'm in 12th grade, and I'm a staff photographer.
If this is your first time tuning in, the Penny Podcast is a weekly podcast that incorporates entertainment and interview elements.
And this is fresh from the freshman campus. My name is Shivi Sharma, and I'm the CHS9 editor. Not many students are aware of the history of CHS9's Leslie Field. In 1967, CHS9 was Coppell's high school. The school's football team, then called the Coppell Tigers, held practices and played its Friday night games on Leslie Field. Now, the city and Coppell ISD share the location for their athletic teams. Renovations, including replacement of the stands, restrooms, and press box to the space, are underway and will be completed on July 31st. To know more about the budgeting details of this project and the purpose Leslie Field serves in Coppell, check out my story called Leslie Field Undergoing $1.8 Million Construction on CoppellStudentMedia.com. In other news, the January Teacher Spotlight went to English Second Language or ESL teacher Jessica Lynch. The January Student of the Month is Brandon Wenzel, who was highlighted for his leadership capabilities by business teacher Kimberly Porter. Most recently, Spanish teacher Miss Judy Garrett was awarded the February Teacher of the Month, as nominated by the CHS9 Student Council. Make sure to check out our latest content about CHS9 on CoppellStudentMedia.com, as well as the following CSM Highlight.
Thank you, Shivi. This week, our CSM Highlight goes to Karen Liu for her article, Finding Love, Belonging with Republican Party, published under our news section. I'll recite the opening to her article. Last night, the Coppell Republican Club hosted its February Help Keep America Great meeting upstairs at Kelly's Texican Grill. President Donald Trump campaign regional director Keenan Williams spoke on his journey to his position today, detailing his parents' divorce, 30-plus arrests, and gang involvement after a debilitating injury took away his promising football future. After spending 4 of his 6-year sentence incarcerated, Williams found new meaning in religion through education. As he embraced the values and beliefs of Christianity, he discovered they aligned with those of Trump. To read the rest of Lou's piece, head over to CoppellStudentMedia.com. Now, this is a special episode of the Penny Podcast. We are going to have one long segment of One Shot in which we will discuss advancements in smartphone technology. Now, first up is foldable displays. Samsung recently released its Galaxy Z Flip, which is its second foldable phone. This time, Sammy went for a clamshell design, which is much different than last year's book/butterfly design. Camden, what is your take on foldable displays?
In general, I just don't see a large purpose for them. And for other devices, like you take TV or something, and then when you fold a TV where it's sort of curved around you, that has a sort of purpose. Sort of surrounds you with the vision of it, and you have sound coming from every area. Like when you pair with a surround sound system.
Yeah.
We have it on a phone, and the screen's so small, and folding it anyway doesn't really help you at all to see anything or serve more of a purpose.
No, I see where you're coming from, and it doesn't really make sense with their new phone, even more so than their last phone, because their new clamshell design really just makes it a flip phone. That's what it is. It's a flip phone, which isn't very necessary, I'd say. And even the design is flawed per se. We had some people on YouTube kind of dig into the phone itself and find that it isn't as durable as Samsung claimed it was. And once again, it's the same thing that's happening where Samsung releases something, doesn't test it, and then they face the backlash. Happened with the Galaxy Fold, once again, not as durable as they had claimed, and also with the Galaxy Note, which, blew up. So not good on Samsung, but I like where they're taking their innovation and where they're taking their, I guess we're kind of seeing what they're gonna focus on in the next 5 years. Is really perfecting the foldable display, and maybe even selling you on it, Camden.
Oh, perhaps.
Perhaps. Next is increasing refresh rates. OnePlus and Google have popularized the idea of making a phone with a screen that is ultra smooth and hyper responsive. Although we saw 120 Hz refresh rate on the 2017 iPad Pro, we have yet to see Apple implement ProMotion on its phones. Do you think that once Apple implements something, it's like nearly perfect?
I don't know. I think that in general, Apple probably does test their stuff more than Samsung does, because usually it does come out right the first time. Now there are exceptions to that. There's that update a few years ago Apple had where they would like, it was like this automatic sign-on where if your cellular data was really weak, if your Wi-Fi was really weak, it would automatically use your cellular data to boost it. And people had like people had crazy bills that month.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Wow.
But sometimes, not everything works out for them, but I think once they implement this, they could see better results then.
Definitely. And even with foldable displays, once Apple introduces like a iPhone 17.
Because Apple did try foldable displays like was it the 6 or the 7?
They did try something like that.
Yeah, they did try.
It was like under the screen though. It was like a 3D touch type thing, right?
Oh no, because like you could fold the phone, but the thing is, it worked even less than Samsung's did. Like if you bent it more than a centimeter or so, you would just end up breaking the phone.
Oh,
it just couldn't fold that much. So it didn't. You could barely call it a foldable phone, basically.
Yeah. And they never like detailed it in any marketing or anything, but clearly it was able to be folded and still work for a little bit.
Exactly.
Which was mainly was interesting about that one. So another thing that strikes me interesting is that Samsung let me make this correct, didn't introduce multiple cameras, but they really helped popularize it. And once Apple made it like the biggest thing in their iPhone 11 Pro / iPhone 11, because the iPhone 11 had 2 cameras, the iPhone 11 Pro had 3 cameras. It was nearly perfect. It was amazing how Apple implemented it.
I know, because those 3 cameras, they work.
Oh yeah, definitely. And they add to the phone. That's what we need is we need stuff to add to the phone in a way that nothing else is compromised, right?
Right, because all 3 of the cameras serve like a different sort of purpose in different shots, and individually they all do work good, or they're all good cameras.
Yeah, it's honestly very interesting stuff.
And following that, we have background activity on devices. So how different apps will ask for access to other parts of your phone, such as the camera or your current location. And they're constantly performing activity even while apps are actually closed or the phone's closed.
Oh no, not good. I'm the type who has his location services turned off, who has do not track turned on, because it's not because I'm paranoid, but the more stuff they start adding to our phones, the more data they need, the more biometrics they need.
Yeah, because people want like the fingerprint ID and stuff on their phones, and I feel like what some people maybe don't realize or just aren't actively think about is to perform more of the stuff people ask for, they need more data. And I can't really say like what everything's being used for, but there is more stuff they need.
Oh yeah, and who really knows? Companies such as Google, not Apple, but Google has had trouble. We don't know where their data is going all the time, and they're not so black and white with it. It's kind of scary.
And a lot of companies have gotten in trouble for data being used wrongly or just data being released, whether it was purposefully or accidental, like Facebook.
That's a different story, right? Interesting.
Yes, it is another story, though.
Now, Camden, what's your next one?
All right, well, right here we got the costs of phones themselves, with the iPhone 11 Pro and Samsung Ultra both getting up to around $1,000.
Oh no, I'm gonna go off on this one. So, you could call this an advancement in a way, because yes, they're putting in new features. Yes, bigger batteries, better cameras, foldable displays, whatever. But the price isn't really matching the amount of phone you're gonna get out of your phone.
And the price doesn't match the level of improvement that's being made. Because so the original iPhone was around $500, which is still pretty expensive.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't really feel like I'm getting double the phone with the iPhone 11.
With the iPhone 11. It's very, very, very concerning to see companies such as Samsung who have, yes, they have their mid-range line, their A line as they call it, but once you get to the S, stuff starts to get more expensive. But it's very concerning to see that phones are hitting $1,600, man. And that's something that you're really using for 2 years because the battery degrades.
I know there are people who, those people who, get the new iPhone every year. And just like, what do you do with that? Like,
in a way, I kind of understand the new iPhone, mainly because their stuff just works. I have a Samsung S10. I've run into so many issues with this buddy. Yes, I love Samsung, but I will be switching to Apple this year, mainly because of those prices. Thanks to our CHS9 guest, Shivy, and my co-host, Camden. Thank you all for joining us in the 40th episode of the Penny Podcast. Links to the material we mentioned today can be found below, and see y'all next week.